Hola, and welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and for the first time this season, I'm joined by my lovely co-host,
Mary.
And today we're talking about Survivor 50 winner analysis for episode 3. A lot changed last night, Mary, for me, for sure. And today we're going to rank all 20 players. We're going to go through alphabetical order. Our rankings will be in the description. The chart in the top right-hand corner shows you the number of times the people have talked to the camera, aka confessionals. I say that because people have asked questions about it, Mary. So, hey, we haven't heard from you at all. People have heard me talk for hours and hours about 3 episodes. What are your thoughts so far through 3 episodes, Mary? Anything stand out, good or bad?
I'm just really enjoying the season overall. I think there's so many good characters. This cast is such a great cast. And I know we have complaints about who should have been here or not or whatever, but I'm just like, Christian and Devens' relationship has been so fun to see. I'm loving watching Cirie play, even though her game is pretty quiet so far. But just, yeah, the overall cast that we were hoping to see play is playing out exactly how I imagined. And it's been really, really fun and enjoyable so far. And as far as like the twists and advantages and things like that, so far, I'm enjoying the Boomerang Idol. I think it was a good twist. You know, we'll see what the other celebrities have in store for the game.
How do you feel about the integration of Billie Eilish being mentioned like 30 times and people's facial reactions?
I think that's pretty funny. Honestly, I'm enjoying the gameplay. I think that it's been beneficial. The Boomerang Idol has obviously caused a lot of strategy to happen, a lot of gameplay to happen. So I'm fine with that. And then there's a little bit of comedy with her name getting mentioned so much and people reacting. So yeah, overall, I've been down. I think it's been really, really fun.
I'm looking forward to, I hope somebody does this when the season is done, doing a supercut of every time Billie Eilish is mentioned, along with the facial reaction to that name being mentioned for the first time to somebody, because it is like every time somebody mentioned it, they're like, they got like this look of like, what? Where's the Boomerang Idol? I agree with you. Is a super cool idol. Like the actual idol is cool. That could have been it. Could have been the Boomerang Idol, or it could have been, as many people have proposed, and I'm one of them, these could have been Survivor Legends. So it could have been the Tony Vlachos Boomerang Idol, for example. Didn't have to be Billie Eilish. It could have been Survivor Legends. Really, you know, and everybody would have been okay with that. That'd been great, you know?
Sure.
And if Boston Rob showed up to their camp with a guitar singing a song next week instead of Zach Brown, that would have been, again, like people like, oh, Boston Rob. Some people be like, I love him. Other people be like, too much Boston Rob, get him off the show. But, you know, at least it fits within Survivor.
That's true.
How is Zach Brown tied in? You know, like by the way, I know people are like, oh, Billie Eilish had a song about where she mentioned Survivor is a good TV show or whatever. It's like, yeah, but the show doesn't say anything like that. It said nothing about that. It just said Billie Eilish. She must be a celebrity fan. It's all they've said to us on the show. That's if you watch 50 seasons of Survivor in a row, you're like, Billie Eilish, what? How is that related? Like that's how unrelated she is to Survivor on the show.
I get it.
And that, by the way, it goes for everybody. They're going to have to do a good job explaining why Zach Brown, Jimmy Fallon, and Mr. Beast are all, how are these people? Are they fans? Like, have them express that. Get a confessional from Zach Brown where he says he's a fan. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we need.
Yes.
Billie Eilish and Jimmy Fallon, both are only going to be mentioned. They're not going to be on the island. I feel kind of like, do we need their names then? I don't know. So that's the celebrity part. But otherwise, I'm with you. The first 3 episodes have been really good. The pure conflict and chaos of these people interacting is what the show needed desperately in the new era. We gotten glimpses of it here and there, mostly in 46. But yeah, when there's no conflict, which is how the new era casting has been, we've been lacking in good moments. And like here, people are having conflict and making gameplay decisions and then being messy about it. And it's like, thank goodness. I know people, I know we're going to talk about Emily, but like 45, I know some people didn't like it, but the disaster of Lulu was partially because of Emily. And like, it was messy. It made for a good first half of the season.
It's true.
Yeah. So also, I don't see how it's going to come up later. The song Jeff did last night, good or bad?
Bad on the worst. I almost wanted to be sarcastic, be like, oh, it was amazing and I loved every second of it, but it was pretty bad. In my opinion, it was pretty bad. Like, do we need that? They could have just said, and the fans voted for drop your buffs. Like, that's whatever. Not a fan of that fan choice.
I think the only thing I'm not against it because he didn't make everyone else do it. Like if he did like a repeat after me, I'd be like, this is awful. This is terrible.
I mean, he did make them
he did make them snap though. He like snap along. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, one more thing to mention before we get into every single player. We have new merchandise. Here are our pictures on screen of us wearing it. We're only doing it during Survivor 50. I've priced everything as low as I can on the website. Link in the description. If you want to get merchandise, now is your chance because we are not going to sell this after 50. This is limited edition. But Mary, I know you got the crew neck. How are you enjoying that?
I loved it. It's super soft and it's comfy. And I like repping our group. It's fun. Our channel. Our group.
Last night after the podcast, Emily's like, oh yeah, I need to get a crew neck. Like literally as after the podcast, unrecorded, unprompted.
The crew neck crew.
Yeah, the crew, because I got a crew neck mask, I got a crew neck. Rebecca got a hoodie. She's the oddball in our group so far. But we have so many more options in crew necks and hoodies. We have like t-shirts, baseball tees. Mary picked all the colors aside from black, basically. I picked black, and then Mary's like, we need more colors. So Mary picked basically all the other colors. Thank Mary for that.
You're welcome.
And I picked the fits, basically. There are many fits for larger people, like max heavyweight. There are slim fits. There are fits designed for women specifically. So go check them out. Link in the description. We thank you all. And it does ship worldwide. I saw some people asking. Yes, nice. They ship wherever, basically. Maybe North Korea is the exception. I can't even speak for that. If you're in North Korea, double check. Okay. All right. Let's move on, Mary, to our first player. Who is it?
Okay. Our first player is Angelina. Angelina had 2 confessionals this week with a total of 5 confessionals.
Has she been skunked yet this season?
She has been skunked.
One of the 5.
She is one of the 5 that have been skunked. So we were going to briefly talk about the players who had 0 confessional episodes. It's unfortunate because like I've had to rank all of the 0 confessional people at the very bottom, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it except they had 0 confessionals. Because like if you look at it on paper, Angelina is in a pretty good spot right now. She's in a majority alliance. She isn't being the chaotic Angelina that we've seen in the past. Like she definitely has grown as a person. So she has potential, but because of the 0 confessional episode, I've had to put her at number 19 strictly for that.
Did you just stuff all 5 of them at the bottom?
I just listed all 5 of them at the bottom. Yeah.
How do you feel about all 5 of them being women?
That is a little annoying as well. I mean, I expected this week, honestly, for like Joe and Colby to not have had a confessional because they were so quiet. And then I looked at the count. I was like, oh, they did get, 1. But yeah, it was just a little weird. And I understand that Christian and Devens are taking up a lot of the screen time and it's very entertaining and fun. But yeah, I don't know. It was an odd choice to me. Very odd.
Yes. Angelina has not been funny this season. I will say, though, I don't remember her really being funny on Dave vs. Goliath until the Jacket and Eggs episode, which I believe was episode 5. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving her time. Like I'm not getting too critical, but if we go through the whole season and Angelina doesn't even have one Angelina moment, complete bust of bring her back, because that's why they brought her back. If we're being honest, and not like, oh, it was for her gameplay. It was not for her gameplay. We brought Angelina back because she was hilarious on Dave vs. Goliath. So if she doesn't even have one moment, Also, I heard, Mary, that in episode 1, she tried negotiating for fishing gear. They just didn't. That's not even a secret scene. It? Oh, they didn't even include it as a secret scene.
Yeah,
it must have been really bad.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. They must have been felt forced, is what I'm going to guess. And they were like, we can't even include this as a secret scene.
Gotcha.
They did a 3-hour premiere and they're like, we don't have time for this. We don't even have time for this as a secret scene, let alone we have time for this. So yeah, Angelina for me is number 17. To be fair, all 5 of the skunked players are just in the bottom where I ranked them last week, and I didn't even touch their rankings. Mm-hmm. So there's no rhyme or reason this week. Last week was based on how number of confessionals they had, but yeah, I mean, they all got skunked, and I told Masson last week, I'm going to need them to have like a 10 plus confessional episode for me to even consider moving them out of the pit, out of the bottom.
I would need everyone to get a 0 confessional episode to consider moving them out of the bottom. Right, that
would immediately change everything.
Yes.
Not for everyone, but it would help a couple people, especially like Angelina. So yeah, Angelina for me, number 17, for you, number 19. Okay. Who's next?
Next is Aubry. Aubry only had 1 confessional this week, but she has a total of 8. I actually have Aubry pretty high, even though it seems she's in a bad spot right now. In both of her tribes, she was in a bad spot, which could be a big negative. But at the same time, if she's able to overcome these obstacles, I could see her doing really well. And she's been a preseason favorite for me anyway. So that's probably another reason I have her pretty high. But right now, she has the boomerang idol from Christian. She has
correction, the Billie Eilish boomerang idol.
The Billie Eilish boomerang idol from Christian. She also seems to have a pretty tight alliance with Tiffany, an actual real alliance. But at the same time, she's being targeted so quickly by Genevieve in both of her tribes.
It's so strange. She came on so strong, Genevieve has.
Well, I do think that part of this is Aubry's fault for being a little bit too honest with Genevieve about her reservations. And it's fine to have reservations with your alliance members, but it's really difficult, especially in the very beginning when you haven't even tested those alliances yet, to say, I'm having weird feelings about you. I don't know. Like, that's just my opinion. So
that's like the first scene we got in episode 1 of Aubry was like her and Bobevieve like being butting heads. Very first scene we get, and it's like, that's it. And then last week, all that stuff with Aubry. I know I've talked to you about it in person because we're married. We live together. So Mary hears all my thoughts anyways, and vice versa. But I was like, this whole setup scene before they even did the follow-up scene, where she got the idol, I'm like, that's too much focus for somebody who's unimportant to the overall storyline of the season. And it was definitely to make you feel bad for Aubry. Right. Is how I felt. I'm like, all these people targeting her, and we've been given no valid reason for it.
And that's part of it too that I have her eyes, is because this could be taken as almost a villainous thing. Well, Aubry was tight with Genevieve and then she turned on her, and Aubry's being targeted by the majority because she just doesn't fit in. Like, we've seen those edits before where that person just kind of
underdog.
Right. Slips out. But now this is it's an underdog edit where it's like, oh, poor Aubry, you should feel bad for everyone's attacking her.
Yeah.
So root for Aubry kind of thing, even though she's in a really bad spot.
We got like 5 to 10 minutes of time of everyone else talking about wanting to get out Aubry before we even heard from Aubry. And it's like, Aubrey's like, oh, people are targeting me. That sucks. At least I can trust Tiffany. Yeah. And it's like, again, no valid reason for why we should be so anti-Aubry, the way the show is like, they're giving so much, like, all these people are putting power on or pressure on Aubry. I don't know how to describe it. It's so clearly the underdog versus the overdog, the big dog.
And I think we can talk about this more when we get to Bobevieve, but I think that Aubry came in with a big target because of her gameplay to the other players.
Gosh,
not necessarily
anything since 34, and I don't think that even counts.
Well, that not necessarily maybe to the fans, but I think to people who know her game and see that she's a really good player, she was a little scary.
And she has an idol. To be fair now. Yeah.
But nobody knows that.
Nobody knew that before. No, doesn't everybody know now?
Nobody on her tribe knows it.
Real? Oh, other people know? I didn't keep track.
Yes, I'm pretty positive. I was trying to keep track of who was on her new tribe, and I'm pretty sure that nobody on her new tribe, because only people on Orange knew. And let me see, is there anybody from previous Oranges now on her tribe?
She's flying solo, isn't she? From her.
Yeah, she was the only one.
Except for Bobevieve. Bobevieve's from her prior tribe.
Yes, but nobody from her prior tribe knew. The only people knew were on Christian's tribe.
I see.
Yeah, so that's where I don't think. But anyways, I'd have to double check that.
Okay.
She's keeping it well hidden.
Be prepared for actually comments.
And I probably, sure, that's fine. I'm assuming that she's going to use that to get out Bobevieve. That's hopefully the payout to all this conflict, and maybe her story will rise from there. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye on her. She's number 2 for me, strictly based on the edit. Really? Yeah, she could I really debated. My top 4 or 5 feel kind of like pretty similar. I don't see like a frontline person yet, but I do feel pretty good about Aubry.
Aubry, I had preseason. I had her at number 3. I had Rizgod 1 and Colby 2 after seeing all the pregame interviews and everything. But then first week there's like almost nothing. I moved her to 10. Last week I moved her to 5 because of it. Really was solely because of the keep looking through her bag scene, not her getting the idol as much. So that does help. But then this week again, it's like so much time spent on Aubry. It's like, okay, this has to pay off, and the way we're going, it has to pay off with Aubry overcoming Genevieve. However, what will happen after that is a big question, because if the storyline kind of ends there for Aubry, well, then she's done. Because like we saw last season, Sage and Shannon, that was a whole rivalry, right? It was going on. And the moment Sage got Shannon, Sage's game kind of tanked in the eyes of us. Like it didn't, there was really nothing after that. Her whole game was leading up to eliminating Shannon. And so if Aubry and Genevieve are in that kind of boat, then, I mean, it's the same editors. 49 just happened. I can't imagine anything changed. Same team of people telling the story. So if they're telling a similar story here, of a better one, I would assume, than Sage versus Shannon, though Shannon was kind of a nutcase.
It could strictly be a story about 2 people fighting on Survivor. That happens a lot. But I think what's interesting to me is why is Aubry the underdog?
Right.
You know, technically the veteran who's played way more than Genevieve.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have Genevieve who's new and kind of evolving, but Genevieve's the one.
Well, Bobevieve has come off the heels of evolving on 47 to be the better player than she was. And she's like, this time I'm trying to make people feel safe and I'm establishing relationships early, which I didn't do last time. And Aubry, we haven't seen anything like that. We've seen Aubry basically be Aubry
Just
the last
struggle.
time we saw her. Like she struggles every time. I don't know why Aubry has not progressed in this area over 10 years. You know, I think season 32 was filmed in 2015 or 2014. I think it was 2015. So it's been 10 years between. And it's like, well, Bobevieve found her footing. Aubry is still going through the same struggle. It feels like 4 seasons now. Like she did okay on Game Changers, but like I don't barely know what happened with her that season. Without going in, I did add a bunch of behind the scenes stuff in her video from that season, and that helped. But the season itself didn't do much. And then Edge of Extinction, she goes up pretty early for people being like, it's Aubry.
Right.
And then this season, it's kind of like, it's Aubry. And it's like, but Aubry didn't do anything the last 2 times she played. Like, we're all based this on Wrong, where she, I guess, in people's minds should have won. But Charlie, in people's minds, should have, I mean, the show made a point of Charlie should have won, is what I felt like watching that last night, which we'll get there when we get to Charlie. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like this target on Aubry feels unearned in our eyes. It makes me wonder, what are we missing? Like, why is it not? Why? But it has to be because they want us to root for Aubry. Yeah. They want a satisfying payoff. And for that, it's if Aubry wins, they don't want you to be like, well, it's a good thing she targeted Aubry. They want to be like, why is she targeting Aubry? And that's right. So I have Aubry at number 5. I didn't move her from last week. There's too much negative on her from other people. But at the end of the day, I'm really concerned that I haven't got really anything else from Aubry besides this storyline, which makes me think this storyline is kind of the end all be all for Aubry. Yeah, it could be. And if that's the case, I don't know, is she going to win? I've seen her in front of a jury. She did pretty good, but is she going to get there this time? You know, like, too many questions. They haven't fleshed out Aubry enough as a character. And it could be because there's literally 21 people this episode. Yeah. And Q is going there like, we got to give Q more time. I don't know, you know? Like, it could be a matter of, well, Aubry will have time later. That's valid. Yeah. You know, that's valid. Should I be focused on people who got too much time already? They're going to go? I don't know. So Aubry number 5 for me, for you number 2. All right. Who is next? Actually, I know who is next. It's Bobevieve, Mary. What's Bobevieve's confessional count? All right. So she has 4 this episode with a total of 14. I think that, so we've been talking about her a lot already in connection with Aubry. One thing that I'm a little bit hesitant on, and I have her much farther down in the list than Aubry, is that it does seem, like we said, that the show wants you to root for Aubry instead of her, which is a negative for me. And at the same time, she's trying to grow and progress from her past play. But the way they portrayed it, and you can disagree with me or whatever, but when she was doing her montage of let's get Aubry out, and where she's saying like the same thing to every player, and it just cuts back and forth. Yes. It reminded me of the past of bad players who just make an alliance with every single person on the tribe. Can I tell you somebody who did that that's very relevant to what you're saying? Sure, go ahead. Because I know you haven't seen the season since it aired. Edge of Extinction, where Aubry did the same exact thing and was made fun of for going up to the same people saying the same thing over and over to them. And then that's part of why she goes. Maybe that was part of the edit. I wonder. And I just didn't remember it from before. Okay, Mary has not watched that season since it aired in 2019, so... But what I'm saying is it felt a little amateur to me, just in the fact, and when you want to make alliances with multiple people, it is best to tell them all the same thing, I think, because you don't ever want to be caught lying to different people who might fact check you. So that part is fine. Just in the edit itself, it felt like, oh, Bobevieve, she's marching this campaign against Aubry, and it's not going to work out. I don't know. That's just the feeling that I got. So I do see growth in her. I do see that she is working a lot harder at making relationships and playing the game than she did last time. I am just a little worried about going too hard too soon. A lot of times, if you're a winner, you want to just sit back. And I know this is, 29 days. It's the new era. The gameplay goes much faster. But even so, good winners still often just kind of sit back and coast and don't make waves until after the merge. And I think Bobevieve is trying too hard right now. Bobevieve is coming into 50 like she just finished 47. Mm-hmm. It's almost like she got a haircut and she came back. that's what happened. For those wondering why she's Bobevieve, because of her bob haircut. It's just a nickname. It's not that serious. Not that deep, at all. Some people are thinking it was deeper than that. It's not. Anyways, so Bobevieve, I like Bobevieve, but it does feel like I mean, how I've been talking about Aubry, and the more I think about it, and when I watched it this week, I'm like, Bobevieve's going to lose this battle between the two of them.
I think so. I think that's what's being projected. So I have her ranked 10th, pretty far down, I guess, in the list, strictly because of her. If it just feels like a lot of these new era players aren't knowing quite how to work with or play the same as the old era players. And not that that's a bad thing, but you really need to be able to play with people. And if you look at it, I mean, out of 4 boots, 3 of them were new era. So you're going to have to work with old era people. And I don't see the new era people doing that well so far.
Where do you have her ranked again? I'm sorry.
10th.
Same. I have her at 10th as well. I put her below a player I couldn't believe I put her below, but I'm like, at least that player's storyline isn't leading up to them losing in a rivalry at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who that is later. But yeah, Bobevieve for me, number 10 as well. Simply because of the Aubry storyline. If Bobevieve ends up winning, I think it's because they're going to have to give some rationales to why Aubry needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to give us a reason to root for Bobevieve, because at the moment I'm rooting for Aubry just based on the pure simple format of who's underdog, who's overdog, who's upper dog, who's big dog. I don't want to keep saying overdog. I know it's big dog. That's what I keep meaning to say. So, all right, Bobevieve number 10. Who is after her, Mary?
Next is Charlie. Charlie had...
Speaking of people who should have won that they talked about last night.
Charlie had 4 confessionals this week with a total of 7.
And to be clear, I don't even think Charlie should have won. I just think Maria should have been honest. I've said that over and over and over again. I don't care that he lost. I care that Maria was dishonest afterwards about why. And I have like multiple videos about this. Charlie's video, a video about him and Kenzie, and then even have a little excerpt video of literally Charlie and Maria talking side by side. I cut them back and forth between Charlie explaining what happened and Maria explaining what happened. You can tell who's being authentic, and it ain't Maria.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So that was so funny last night when Rizgod asked him about it, and then they did a flashback. I was like, it's like I felt a little triggered. I was like, I thought I'd gotten over this.
You
I
felt triggered. Charlie felt triggered.
Charlie's experiencing PTSD. Sorry,
Yes.
How many confessionals again?
So he had 4 last night with a total of 7.
Okay, go ahead.
He has not been skunked. He's not one of the 5 women that have been skunked.
No, Charlie's not one of the 5 women that got
Right.
skunked. Thank you, Mary. Glad that was clarified.
I think one of the things I like Charlie. Obviously, he's made it to the end before. I was in that camp where I didn't really care who won because I thought both did such a good job with the game that I could see either winning and be fine with it. Yes, between him and Kenzie. It was so heartbreaking though that it was Maria that was the one that was the flip. So I've just felt bad for him, and I think Rizo is right. I think this is a time for Charlie to redeem his story. I think he could totally make it to the ending again because again he's like under the radar. But so far in his edit, it's just been really quiet for him, except for last night when we got his backstory of Cirie and stuff.
PTSD moment.
Which could be good. It could be bad. I just don't know where he is in the tribe. I don't know who his alliance members are. You know, Rizzo's trying to work with him, but he's saying, no, I'm not going to work with Rizo because he didn't vote for his number 1 and I can't do that again.
I think he's willing to work with him. He just said he can't make the merge because he doesn't want him on the jury.
Yes, he doesn't want him
It's like a revenge against Maria. He's taking out his anger on Maria with Rizgod.
Well, you know, burn me once, shame on me, burn me twice, shame on, or
he's
whatever.
Like Maria
I said
came
it backwards.
back as Rizgod.
He's not willing to do the exact same mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's good. You're playing Survivor. Don't make the exact same mistakes. I think Rizo probably could have explained that a bit better. Maybe he did, but Charlie just heard, oh no, he didn't vote for my number 1. I'm not.
And I think that Rizgod told everyone that before he knew Savannah got voted off. I think he was telling them that the night she was getting voted off because everything's happening so quick. Like the first episode was 3 days, but I think since then it's been like, we've had 3 episodes and I think they're on I think we just saw night 8 is what I'm saying. So it's been 3 episodes in 8 days. So they're going to have to start doing 1-day episodes because of how many days they've done so far, how many people are left and everything. But anyways, so what I'm saying is that, or double tribals, I guess, is also an obvious option. Point being is that Rizgod, I think, was trying to cover up his Savannah relationship, but Charlie doesn't know that.
Right.
Charlie doesn't know that. All he hears is Sophie B was your number 1, but you voted for Savannah. That's all Charlie needed to hear in a bad way for Rizgod.
Right.
It might make Charlie hyper focus on Rizgod though, which could be bad as well.
It could be. I think, again, as I said, I think he has the skills to make it to the end. I think he has the personality to not cause waves, not cause chaos, and kind of slip in at the end. Does he have the wherewithal to convince the jury that he deserves it this time? He could. So I have him kind of middle high. He's number 5 for me because I see potential. There's just big lack of evidence right now of anything, of his gameplay at all. All we've seen is Maria, and that's it. So.
I think Rizgod's beating Charlie. Charlie's way lower for me. Charlie's number 13. I've
wow.
had him low all season. He's staying low. I've seen no evidence as to why I should think that Charlie's going to go deep in this game. When he was given nothing in first two episodes. Like, we say the Aubry, but Aubry hadn't had time. There's been so much Aubry. Like, there was much Aubry in episode 1, but then 2 and 3, so much Aubry. Charlie literally is getting triggered into a rivalry with Rizgod that Rizgod's unaware of it happening. At least Aubry and Genevieve are both aware.
Yeah.
Rizgod's unaware, which I guess could sound like Rizgod's going to go. I don't think that's the case. I think that Charlie's going to try, but he's going to get rizzed out of the game. The Rizgod is going to rizz Charlie. I think Mary's shaking her head. She disagrees. He's going to rizz Charlie out of the game. And yes, I am fanboying a little bit. The Rizgod's going to win this battle is my prediction. I don't think Charlie stands a chance.
Definitely predict Charlie.
Nah, wait till Rizgod plays a fake idol or plays his real idol but doesn't actually play it, and then Charlie's gone. Rizgod's like, this is a trick I pulled out in 49 10 times in a row. Let me pull it out again. You know he would too.
Oh, I know he would.
He would do it unironically. Yep, it wouldn't even be as a joke. Rizgod would do the L on his forehead, the whole 9 yards. So Charlie, I don't think Charlie's winning this. I'll eat my words. If Charlie wins this, Charlie shoots up the rankings. Obviously, if he beats Rizgod, Charlie, but I have him low because I don't think he's winning. But kind of like why Bobevieve dropped.
You don't think he's winning the rivalry against Rizzo, not
the one-sided rivalry. This is a Katurah hates Bruce kind of rivalry.
True.
You know who won that though? Katurah. I mean, Katurah did win that. As funny as it was. So I hope every week, by the way, is like Charlie having PTSD against Rizgod. That would be hilarious. Not a flashback, just him talking about his PTSD. Obviously, we're saying PTSD in a joking way. I'm a disabled veteran, Mary. I think I can. This is one of the areas I'm allowed to joke about.
We're married, and I didn't know that.
You knew that. I don't think everyone else. I don't think I try not to talk about that too much, but yeah. All right. So Charlie, for me, number 13. For you, number what?
5.
Oh, that's really high. All right. Who's next?
Next is Chrissy. Chrissy is one of our 5 ladies. She had 2 confessionals this week with a total of 4, but was skunked last week, I believe. So she's number 20 for me. Again, I just kind of put all 5 at the bottom. She did have the nice backstory, I guess, with pictures this week. She did. But also at the same time, it was in relation to her not connecting with people. Yeah. And having Coach. Imagine Coach telling you you're not connecting well with people. That would be really devastating.
Coach connects with people. He just then burns them.
That's true.
That's
he
his
does.
problem.
He has some weird magnetic personality that connects well with people in person, apparently.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't really have much on Chrissy. Mary, I feel bad for her, but
for perspective, Mary doesn't even like Coach on Token Sheens, which I thought everybody liked Coach on Token Sheens.
I don't like
even Mary did not found the exile thing exhausting.
Yes.
Mary did not like it. I find it hilarious. A lot of people find it hilarious. Mary did not. So for the few people who don't like Coach, Mary is your surrogate and on the podcast. Anyways, we were talking Chrissy. Yeah. Last week she got skunked. And then this week it was like, I appreciate the backstory. It was the only thing I predicted. Like, I feel like I predicted correctly. I also predicted Rizgod and Colby would like, I don't know. Colby would be like, what's a Rizgod? But they kind of being friends.
Yeah, which I thought was cute and sweet. And it's very possible because Rizzo, we're not talking about Rizzo.
No,
yet.
We're not talking about Rizzo or Colby. Hang on, Mary. Talking Chrissy, I'm saying I predicted Chrissy was going to get a backstory. And she should be the only one in the new era to have it unless I don't know something about somebody else that is relevant to having one. Chrissy has one that I feel like is earned. Like we saw her last time, we know her. And in between these 2 seasons, this happened. And it's a pretty major life event.
Yeah.
And she was able to relate. She's like, even during that, I was like more emotionally stable than I am now, finding out people again aren't connecting with me. She's like, I don't have this problem in daily life, but in daily life, you can choose who you're around.
Right.
I mean that for Chrissy and for other people. But on Survivor, you're stuck with who you got. So like people aren't connecting with you and people are annoyed by you. I'm sure it could be a combination of factors, but she hasn't quite gotten it. And that doesn't, even if she didn't have a 0 confessional episode, doesn't bode well.
Right.
Because like, she just kind of cried about it and talked about it, but there was no like, here's what I'm going to do to resolve the issue and to do better. Here's what I need to do better. Where we saw Emily on 45 go, oh crap, I need to do X, Y, and Z. And she did X, Y, and Z. She made 7th place, cleared up a lot of her issues. Caleb helped her out. Caleb coached her that season.
Right.
Coach just told Chrissy what was going on. He didn't really coach her on what to do.
He wasn't like, well, all he said was just calm down, chill out.
He's like, chill out. You're being too extra, basically. So, despite the 0 confessional episode, Chrissy would be pretty low for me, but You have her ranked at last. I have her ranked 19th. Again, all 5 of them, you could tie them for last. It's irrelevant, the number, honestly, for those 5. So again, if somebody, like you said, if everybody got a 0 confessional at some point, who's still in the game, of course, then we would reevaluate. Yeah. But I don't think Chrissy's moving up too much. So she is in a better place than she was last week.
Good.
Like she is like in a better place. I think she's a better alliance. Like,
yes, yeah. Clearly she has some people who are willing to work with her in this new tribe.
Right. We'll see how that progresses. All right, Mary, who is after Chrissy?
Our next player is Christian. He had 6 confessionals this week with a total of 23, and he is tied for Ozzy for the most confessionals now. We obviously have talked about him a little bit. He's just amazing to watch. He's so fun. I loved this episode for him. It was such like highs and lows. In this new tribe, he has his David versus Goliath alliance of Mike, Angelina, and himself. I was like, who's the third person? Obviously him.
The whole David versus Goliath.
And I wanted to say Devens, but obviously Devens isn't on his new tribe. But we know that alliance will last until they get back together again. And this alliance with Emily, I think he's doing a great job with her. It's probably difficult to manage, and we'll talk about Emily when she gets to her section, but I think he's doing a very good job of managing his alliance.
I mean, my gosh, Emily is his biggest negative right now.
Mm-hmm. But he's just so positive. He's so honest. He's so funny, so smart. I really love the plan of having Devens present that he was the one that found the idol.
Putting the heat on Devens.
It put the heat on Devens, but it also made sense because Devens was the one that always looking for idols, and everyone knows it. So I just love how he's playing this game. It's like so much heart and head. He's playing the whole game with his whole self, and it's so fun to watch.
He references his son every week too.
He does, and it's really sweet.
Very sweet. Yep.
I'm really hoping, and I'm believing he makes it farther in the game. Right now, he's number 3 for me because I think if he makes it to the end, there are very few people that could beat him. I think that he's so eloquent.
Think anybody could beat him in a final.
He's so likable.
Cirie, maybe.
Yes,
that's the only
that's
exception.
The only exception, basically. So yeah, he's making this season absolutely a joy for me to watch. Honestly, he's just so fun, and I think he's doing really well. We often see the nerdy people not doing well with relationships, but
Christian's
he really
on a whole nother
is.
level.
Yeah, he really, really is.
Yeah, and
it did seem like Mike was the one pushing for the vote in his tribe this week, which is fine because I don't think it really mattered who went as much out of the outliers. So Mike coming up with that strategy of, let's say it's Stephenie, but then really vote Q. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
That was what was going to happen was going to happen. I still think that Christian is probably the leader of that alliance. And his game right now is so good. And once he gets back with
you think
Devens,
this alliance going to turn on each other or something? Is that what you're saying?
I think that Mike isn't long for the game.
Oh.
But that's another.
I have been waiting for people to be like, he's famous and he has money. Like I'm waiting for that to be said, but it hasn't been said yet.
Yeah. I think that they will stick as long as they're together on this new Vatu tribe.
But the moment he doesn't have this alliance to insulate him, he's gone.
I think so.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. But like as I'm saying, Christian had his alliance on Cirie. He was tight. He was strong. Christian has alliance on Vatu.
Who doesn't like Christian?
Who doesn't like Christian? He's doing so well. So yeah, number 3 for me.
That's what would do him in though. If something ever were to happen, it would be like, who doesn't like Christian? Like Cirie is well liked, but she's more low key in her energy. Just naturally. I mean, we've seen that since her first time playing, when she was in the old women's tribe, but she was, get this, Mary, 35.
Yes.
I think 35 or 36. It's like, that's old.
The old woman's tribe.
At one point, Jeff said that if you're over 25, you're an old woman.
Oh my.
I know. Jeff said that, and I have proof.
Oh my gosh.
If I put it in a couple videos, because it was around the time of Philippines when he said that. He's like, yeah, when you're an older woman, you're older than 25. And I'm like, what? I'm like, over 25 is not old, let alone for a woman or a man. Doesn't matter who you are. That is not old. It's called middle-aged when you reach 40 for a reason. That's still not called old.
That's true.
Yeah. Grandpa Jeff over here calling people. And at that point, Mary, he was in his 50s. Calling women over 25
how old was he
old
at that point, but yeah.
Maybe he meant old for TV, but even then, come on now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to hammer too much on about that. I'm just saying it's crazy. Cirie's in the older women's tribe. She's more low key energy, even when she was younger is what I'm saying. Even 20 years ago when she was younger. Whereas, how old is Christian? He's got to be around the same age she was. He's got to be in his mid 30s.
He's 39.
Okay, he's almost 40. Yeah. He just has way more energy.
Oh yeah.
And he's way more expressive too. And so I think it draws people to him in a good way, but eventually it'll be said, we can't let Christian into the final 3.
Yes.
So Christian's either going to need to schmooze his way with the right people to get there or get an idol. He did get an idol in Dave vs. Goliath and he played it successfully, if I recall.
Well, he got an idol in this one, but he had to give it to Aubry.
That's true. That's true. Good point. The season when he just walked into it while doing a confessional, waist tight off the walking path. Perfect. You're right. He did find an idol this season. Well, I remember last time he played, he did the whole like, I divided the island into like 3 sections and it like showed how he divided the 3 sections.
Yes.
He's like, I'm searching this section, then this section. That's how he found his idol. So Christian needs an idol, basically. I don't know if he can win. The challenge needs to be a slide puzzle. They haven't done one of those in forever, it feels like. We know he'll dominate if that ever comes up. Make that an individual immunity challenge. Well, it'll be done in 2 minutes. Jeff will be like, oh, thank goodness. I don't want to be out here too long.
That's true.
He's like, make sure there's a slide puzzle for Christian so we can be in and out of here pretty quick. But yeah, Christian I have number 1. I'm sure there are more flaws, but really the flaw is Emily. And even then, she still came back to Christian.
That's true.
Yep. So it wasn't like she turned and flipped. Emily was super messy. We'll get to her, but she did not end up flipping on Christian at the end of the day. So Christian number 1 for me, really big fan of him. He has strategic content. He has personal content. At the moment him and Devens are separated, it's still about Christian.
Yes. To
be fair though, he had to go to tribal and he had to contend with Emily being messy. So if Devens had those things, I think he would have gotten probably an equal amount of content.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, all right. Who is next after Christian?
Next is Cirie. Cirie had,
speaking of charismatic people. Yeah.
Right. She had 3 confessionals this week with a total of 11 and she does have an extra vote. I mentioned briefly, but I do think that Cirie's game has been pretty quiet so far. Only 3 episodes. And while she does have 11 confessionals on 3 episodes, which is a lot compared to many people on the cast, I'm trying to think of anything negative we've heard at all of Cirie. And you usually don't. Like, there's never any, because Jeff loves Cirie so much. She could never do wrong. So I'm not expecting. She could be on
every other show in the world, and Jeff's like, it's fine. Don't not Carolyn.
Right. I'm not expecting negative content, but there's been nothing against her. And so far, what we do get, as far as being against her, quote unquote, is Dee and Jonathan talking about, we have to get Cirie out because we love her so much. And Dee saying, my best friend told me, if you're on a tribe with Cirie, you have to vote her out. And then Dee saying, I just can't be blindsided by Cirie. That would be awful. And then also we get Cirie managing the vote of what happened on Sela to save Ozzy, her number 1 alliance member. We also see Devens and Christian coming to Cirie and telling her all this stuff and including her in everything. And so I have Cirie at number 1 because I do think if she makes it to the end, hands down, she beats anybody. Everyone loves her so much. And her gameplay always is, as long as it's not me, basically I'm okay. But also she's so smart, like how she manipulates people to vote for who she wants in the nicest, sweetest. You have no idea you're even being manipulated. Yeah. I don't even know if people know her and Ozzy are that tight. Like, I think they know they have a friendship, but do they know they're basically their number 1s? I don't think that's apparent to anyone.
And then you got that moment last night where she's being relatable to us, where she's like, you know, when you have people over at your house and you don't want to host, but you still have to, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. So she's in a good spot. She's in the alliance in her tribe, in the new tribe and the old tribe. She has connections everywhere, it seems like. She has an extra vote. She is aligned with Ozzy, who also has an advantage, and we'll talk about him when we get there. And again, really, everyone's just saying we love her so much. There was a little clip this week where she's talking to Devens, and she said, you know, one of us is going to win. That's could be something, it could not. But at the same time, I'm just saying, like, this, watching this woman play is like watching a ballet. She's just, every step she knows how to take, when to take, what to say, when to say it. And it's
she has
perfect.
An extra vote.
Yeah.
From Ozzy. No, I'm just saying, like, for once she has an advantage.
That's true.
That's not a super powerful one, but it could be a difference with the right number of votes. You know, if it's we have an even number of votes and they need an uneven to an odd number to make it happen.
Right.
It's once, not like, so you can make a difference.
It's not like Ozzy said, oh, if you need it, I'll give you my extra vote. Yeah, no, he just gave her the extra vote, and now they're separated and she has the extra vote. So on her new tribe.
I mean, that was a true show of trust because the whole, like, I'll give it to you if you need it is like, that's not, you don't really trust me then. That doesn't mean anything to me. But when actually just giving it over, and there's no like stipulation to it, nothing. He just gave it to her. Like, that's how, you know, their relationship is. I'm with you. I hope that he makes it further and they get back together because Cirie, I mean, I think you're crazy having it ranked at 1. That's way too high. I have it ranked at 2.
Oh yeah.
No,
so crazy.
I'm with you. I kind of have people ranked on likability at the moment. And do I think they're going to make it past any rivalries? Cirie's not in any rivalries at the moment. Whereas like, Bobevieve and Aubry, Charlie and Rizgod, Coach and Ozzy, which we haven't quite got to yet either. They all are like in the midst of like, okay, only one of these people can win. Well, nobody's really, I mean, I know Dee and Jonathan mentioned Cirie, but like, let's be real.
Right.
Let's be real. Did anybody watching the show last night go, oh, I hope Dee and Jonathan succeed in getting at Cirie?
No, exactly. That's the feeling you get of, oh no, poor Cirie. People are ganging up on her even though they love her.
Yeah. They're just ganging up on her because they love her.
Right.
That's what they said. There was no good reason for it. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, no, Cirie's going to get me out. It was, oh my gosh, everybody loves Cirie. I was told I need to get out Cirie by other people as well. But I love Cirie. Yeah, but that's why we got to get her out. And it's like, there's no good reason for us, the audience, to be like, Cirie needs to go.
Right.
We're like Q last night, even though we love Q, they tried giving us as many reasons as they could. Like Q played himself out of the game, told Mike to vote for him. It's like, and we all knew like, Q, you're playing your way. I mean, he's already going out anyways, but yeah, because he lost his vote. Somebody said he sold his vote. Somebody was forced to lose their vote for that. It wasn't like you have the option. Both of you can keep your vote if you want. Like, sure. He was forced to lose it, him or Ozzy, whatever. So yeah. Cirie in a great spot. Her issue, as always, is she gets deep in the game and then fails to win immunity when she needs it. And I just don't know what immunity challenge. Or can she make fire? Can she finally do it? Because she couldn't do it twice now so far. It's always getting to the very end. And then she drops the ball in a challenge. Really, that's what does Cirie in.
That's true.
That's why the traders went so well for her, though, because the challenges weren't do or die on whether your life was happening in the game. At least not the season she played. They have in the newer seasons, but that season it was not relevant. I will say also that Cirie expressed, you and I watched Big Brother, begrudgingly, I might add. Mary watched
Cirie,
Big Brother.
yes.
Mary would literally skip episodes because she's like, I can't believe I'm watching this much. There's too much Big Brother.
Too much content.
It was like 40 episodes over 100 days or something stupid like that. Anyways, the Cirie season is the last one we watched. And that one, she was like worn out interacting with people all the time. I remember that. Like, it's the same Cirie, worn out. But like through 40 days of that season, she was dominating. And then she got tired. Yes. And she's like, can I leave? And and basically they convinced her not to. I'm sure money was involved. But anyways, yeah, for 40 days, Cirie was dominating socially that game, not winning any challenges. But I think what worked so well on the Traders, Mary, for her, and to connect all this, is that on the Traders, they go to a hotel at night and they're separated.
Yes.
So there was alone time.
Yes.
They don't get that on Survivor. They don't get that on Big Brother.
It's true.
So that's why that's why I think she did, a part of why I think she did so well on the Traders. There was like time to like get away from everybody and like have your own time, which for us introverts is very important.
It's true.
Yep. Survivor, though, it's like hard to get that alone time unless you like walk down the beach. And even then, is it quite the same as laying in a bed in a hotel?
You can't even get alone time if you poop your pants. So
thank you, Mary. It's a good point. That's right. Even if you poop your pants, you gotta be like, no, please give me some time to myself. The camera's like trying to follow you. So, yeah. All right. Cirie number 2. Who is next? Coach
Wade.
Benjamin Coach Wade. What's his name? What's his birth name? It ain't Coach. It's Benjamin.
All right. Coach had 1 confessional this week.
Wow.
He has a total of 11, so still in the middle of the pack. I'm trying to remember what his confessional was about.
Who do you think
I think
is
it was
winning
about
between him and Ozzy? That's my big question. Forget his confessional this week. Sorry, not to forget it, but like I think it was about Chrissy. Maybe, who cares?
Probably that's what I was going to say.
Really, the big question is who's going to win between Coach and Ozzy? Because unlike the other 2 rivalries where I feel pretty good about who's going to win, these 2 I don't know.
Honestly, I think it might be Ozzy this time, strictly because Ozzy has Cirie this time around. Like, honestly,
not at the moment. But Coach and him are separated.
He also has Emily right now. And then we'll get to that when we get to Emily. But yeah. Coach, he seems to have Joe and Colby now in his new tribe and that alliance. He seems to maybe have Chrissy as well. And I'm not saying this is about like rivalries aren't always about who do you have on your side, but it really does come down to who do you have on your side so you can vote the other person off. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just seeing so little of Coach this season and more of Ozzy than we see of Coach. And that could be a bad way of looking at who's going to win, because technically I think we're seeing more of Bobevieve than Aubry, but we feel like, I don't know. I just feel like in this one, there's not necessarily much of vote for Coach or vote for Ozzy.
They're both like
it's
equally
almost
pros and
equally
cons.
presented. Yeah. So I don't know. I just probably my bias against Coach, and I've always loved watching Ozzy play, even though he's a terrible social player. He's a good challenge player, and sometimes you need that in the challenges to be still interesting to watch. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping Ozzy wins, but at this point, it is presented fairly equally. So we'll see.
What gets forgotten when talking about Ozzy being so great at challenges, and he was, to be fair, on season 23, he was dominating in the real little arena duel with one-on-ones. So this didn't apply there, but he's better in the water than he is on land. He's more fish than human in that regard. Like, it's a water challenge that involves swimming. Ozzy's going to dominate. He swims like nobody else. He's great at fishing for that reason. All these other, that's really Ozzy's strength, is that he's also good on land, but he's better in the sea. And they don't really have many challenges where it's like sea dependent, you know, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like all about doing something hard in the water anymore. It's doing a puzzle.
Well, I think we can talk, I guess, more about Ozzy when we get to him.
Oh yeah. Sorry. We're talking about Coach. Dude, you got me all mixed up. Sorry. Yeah, we will talk about Ozzy when we get to him. Coach. Yeah. Coach had a good moment this week with Chrissy. I'm sure that helps her feel more connected to Coach because he was honest with her. Coach is being pretty low key outside of the Ozzy stuff that he did last week, where he like got mad at him at the challenge. Yeah, I think at the moment it's safe to say coaching isn't going anywhere until him and Ozzy are back together, which they haven't even been together. So when they get together on a tribe or at the merge,
right?
I don't know if there's another tribe swap. I'm gonna guess there isn't. It wasn't like, are you voting for multiple tribe swaps? I don't know. They did stuff that we didn't vote for anyways, like celebrities and singing songs and other stuff. So it wasn't like, hey, do you want Jeff to sing a song? That would have been a weird vote to have. Like, what define the song, Jeff? Doesn't even explain. Doesn't. Highway to the Danger Zone. That's what Jeff sings. I would have voted for that. Anyways, point being is I don't think anything's gonna happen to either of them until they're together again. And if something does, well, why? Okay, that kind of like fizzled out in a lame way. So I'm waiting for them to get back together, whether it's at the merge or in another tribe swap.
Right. I think he's in a good spot. He has people wanting to work with him in this new tribe. And yeah, I don't see him going anytime soon.
He's with Joe and Jonathan.
I still don't really, and Colby.
Yeah. Oh, good point. I was thinking people who are like overly.
He's not with Jonathan now. He was with Jonathan last tribe.
Sorry, my apologies.
He's with Joe and Colby this tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people that Coach feels like he's with, even if they're not present, I guess.
Right. Yes. There are a lot of people who want to work with him, which I have been surprised by.
Joe, I'm here because of you on 48. Yeah, right. Coach is like, I wasn't going to come back to Survivor until I saw Joe on 48. Get out of here, Coach.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I know it's not what he said specifically, but it sounded like he's hyping up Joe, as a coach does. He's hyping up Joe.
Right.
And Joe loves that, by the way. Joe is all about the positivity.
All about the coach.
These two are going to be two peas in a pod as long as they're together.
I have Coach ranked 14th, though, strictly, again, just because he might make it to the end, but I don't see a lot of people voting for him. I could be wrong, but it's just Coach.
That's why he's at 9th for me, is because I struggle to think that this coach who is blaming Ozzy for losing is going to be at Final Tribal. But then again, it depends on the jury and how the jury's portrayed him. And did Coach do the Coach things we are waiting for him to do that he does every time he plays, where he wants to make moves that make his game better, but still under the guise of this is an honorable move, even though it's not. You're just playing Survivor.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of Joe actually plays honorably, for better or for worse. I'll give Joe that. I never once thought, oh, Joe's going against his honor. Joe stuck with his honor. But Coach does not stick with his honor. He says he does, but he doesn't actually do it.
Right.
And I'm waiting for when, push comes to shove and Coach actually has to actually vote somebody off. Is he going to start betraying people? Because I don't think he's had to go tribal yet. He's been avoiding tribal. He's been on the right tribe so far. He's always been on the tribes that are winning immunities. Right. But I'm assuming we'll get some double tribals and we'll have two tribes go. What if they go together again, like they did the one time Game Changers? I'd actually be okay with that.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild. So Coach for me is number 9. All right. Who is next?
Our next player is Colby. Colby had 1 confessional this week with a total of 7. A little bit quieter episode for him as well. He's also lost his vote, so he has that negativity going for him. But on the whole, I think there's not been a lot of negative content for Colby. It's been pretty positive so far. He's not in a bad spot besides having lost a vote. He seems to be in with Coach and Joe in his new tribe. He seemed to be tight with, of course, Stephenie and Rizo in his past tribe. So I think he's shown to be calm, cool, and collected, and everyone appreciates that, especially in the beginning of the game, when you're just trying to go and survive one more tribal. And I think I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen him play, because it's been obviously years and years since he has played.
Yeah.
But I think he is playing a better game this time around. I could be wrong.
He's more involved this time than he was on Heroes and Villains.
Right. His relationships seem better, more intentional and actually genuine.
Yeah.
Versus just he's there to play all the challenges. You know, he is focusing a little bit more on the social game, and I think that's good for him. I do have him lower down on the list because, again, I just don't see him having that, like, I can't say the word. His magnetic personality of winning at the end. At the end, you have to be able to convince the jury to vote for you. I don't know if I see Colby doing that well.
He could do that.
Do you think so?
I think so. Season 2, he only lost by 1 vote and he wasn't even trying.
Well, that's true.
Like, he literally was like, "Oh, I don't think you should vote for me." Like, he was like doing that season 2. He didn't say that specifically, but he's like, "I don't know why I deserve your vote." And it's like, but Colby still only lost by 1. He only lost by 1.
I think that's more indicative of the players he played with.
Colby trying has a good chance. I don't think he beats a Cirie or a Christian.
Sure.
But I think there's definitely quite a few people here I could see Colby beating in a final 3 if he gets there.
I might have to reevaluate him. Right now I have him at 11th.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept looking more towards the middle.
Wow.
I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't have a lot of content yet.
That's fair. And that's the best thing. That's the most, I think that's the most accurate thing you say. I want to ask Mary, since you were there, you were present. We were at that birthday party the other day. I like how this has been referenced on the podcast more so than any other event in our life. Even though we have adopted a child. Oh, that probably got referenced more, but this is catching up. The birthday party we were at, I brought up with Rebecca yesterday and Emily. You saw the gift the child got of the Jenga or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, "That's the challenge from Survivor 50." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, a challenge or a game for a 6-year-old is what Colby and Savannah were playing."
It's true. In a larger scale, it's a much larger scale, of course.
But it was like a 1-for-1 like idea, like the same like what's it called, like V shapes at the bottom, and it was the same thing.
Balancing, yes, these geometric shapes.
The same thing, but for a 6-year-old. And I'm like, man, Jeff really is targeting the 8-year-olds. That's what he said in his podcast. Targeting the 8-year-olds. I didn't know how literal he was being until we saw that gift be open.
If you want to practice for Survivor, go look in 8-year-old game puzzles.
Oh, I love Survivor, by the way. I just hate when they do stuff that goes and makes the show not as fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like better challenges. I think we all do. Give me back Sumo C and challenges like that. Yeah. What? Jenga. Come on now. Come on. I know they literally did Jenga the other season too. Season 47. It was like a literal Jenga game.
To be fair, that is very similar to stacking the deck of cards. Like that is a child's game too, just on a larger scale.
Not while balancing the whole thing with your arm and like that.
That's added elements.
That is way more. That is an adult. I know that's like me. It sounds like I'm passionately defending. I'm saying that there's a lot more to it. It wasn't like they're just sitting there stacking it.
Sure.
And I'm talking about the version where they have to balance at the same time. Yes, the one where it's just like they're just stacking it and then they stand next to it. I like when they have to balance it.
Yeah.
Like that's the better one. Because them just stacking it, the cards, like, could a child do that? Maybe. But like it literally was a child's game that he opened. Anyways, way off topic. Just want to bring it up because you were the one that pointed it out when he opened it.
It's true.
Pretty awesome moment in my life.
So we were
talking my week.
We were talking about Colby.
Yeah, I thought about Colby in that moment. Anyways, yes, Colby lacking content, but he's in a good alliance and he hasn't been skunked. I have him at 6, probably too high, but I really need people to go tribal who haven't been in tribal, and we got some of that this week with this tribe that went. But I need everybody. I wish everybody had gone tribal at this point. I wish through 3 episodes, 3 different tribes had gone. Basically. That would have helped a lot understand how people are playing the season and where they stand. Because a lot of people we're hearing words, but like, I don't know where you really stand.
Yeah.
Colby's one of them.
I'm looking forward to seeing Colby and Rizo interact more together. And hopefully that does happen. Because that was one of the best moments for him.
Are they even on the same tribe anymore?
They're not. Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that happens. But yeah, he probably could go up for me. 11th is probably low. I just don't know that much about him. And I don't remember his other seasons that well. So.
All right, let's move on, Mary. Colby was 6 for me. I already said that. Who is next?
Next is Dee. Dee had 1 confessional this week with a total of 3 confessionals. So she is almost skunked, but not quite. She's scraping through. Dee's one of the people we don't have a lot of content on at all. I don't know who her alliance members are, how her relationships are doing. If anyone's targeting her, nothing.
She's a past winner targeting Cirie. She's done.
Yes, I do.
She's done.
I should have taken that into consideration. I have her 6th because she's the only past winner left. So she knows how to make it. It should know how to make it, but at the same time, she's playing with completely different people. Yeah, you're right. She's targeting Cirie, and she's a past winner. So it's very likely she's gone soon. It's difficult to rank all 20 of these people. Okay?
Oh, I agree. It's definitely one of the harder seasons because we do know these people from past seasons, and we just have a lot to go. Like we have not ranked players since Winners at War, and that season was the Tony show.
Yeah,
I mean, we're being real. So it made it really easy to just be like Tony, obviously.
So I have her that high because she has the potential to get there because she's done it before. But you're right. She has 2 pretty big negatives stacked against her right now. So where do you have her ranked?
I have her ranked 15th because she's a past winner and she's targeting Cirie. Like, I really don't have anything else for you.
Probably fair.
Savannah, I saw some confusion last week. Like, why did Savannah go? She's a past winner. and everyone else here has not won $1 million. I know that's not being mentioned all the time, but it is a factor.
Oh, yeah.
It is impossible to not mention. Winners are going to be targeted. It was amazing that Sandra made it as far as she did, but it was because of the hubris of other people, namely Russell, that Sandra made it as far as she did and then ended up winning a second time. Tony won again because there's only winners.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, it's only happened once before. And it's because the hubris of a crazy individual named Russell that Sandra was even like being ignored the way she was. And there was so much other chaos that season that Sandra was just so under the radar, even though she was a winner. Yeah, craziness. All right. So D for me, 15th. For you, 6th, which
I'm sure it'll change.
Hey. If D finishes in 6th, I'll eat my words. If she makes it to 6th place, like that's not how I know it's not how we're ranking it, but she makes it that far, like, dang, Mary, I take it back. Like, good ranking. I was wrong. So anyways, yeah. Our next player is Devens, Mary. What is his confessional count?
He had 3 this week with a total of 14. So we mentioned a quieter episode for him, but mainly because he didn't have to go to tribal and hopefully didn't have too much drama on his new tribe. We've talked about Christian, and it's hard not to talk about Devens when you're talking about Christian. Clearly a powerful duo in this game and an entertaining duo in this game. So we're hoping he goes pretty far. I think he has the wherewithal, the social skills, the strategy, everything to make it to the end. And there are bigger threats than him at the moment. So yeah, obviously he's still really tight with Cirie. He's tight with Devens. Probably thinks he's really tight with Emily still, and maybe he still will be once he finds out about all the drama. But yeah, I think he's in a good spot. He didn't have to go to tribal. I don't know if he'll be targeted that much in his tribe. New tribe has, Jonathan and D, past winner. Those are big targets to hide behind. And he still has one of his good allies in Cirie there too. So I think he's in a good spot. I'm enjoying watching him play. I do think that he has less content than a lot of the people, so I still would like to see more. I don't want to see him go to tribal, but I need to know how this new tribe is going to work for him as far as is he really safe or not. He seems to be pretty safe in a good spot. So I do have him 4th. I would like to see more personal content, I think, from him to move him up. But yeah, I think he's doing really well.
I have him in 3rd. Just everything about Devens has been positive. The only negative thing has been when he basically, Christian's like, let's have people tell people that you found the idol. Devens like, okay. Like, I know it's just showing sign of trust between their alliance, but like Devens is willing to take the heat, which I know worked on Edge of Extinction, but it's only because he had so many immunity wins in idols.
Well, we also saw his little tip with Joe, which I think could have been handled better by Devens. Like that little moment where
remind me
where Joe asked him, "What were you and Savannah talking about?" Savannah talking? What?
That
See,
I almost
whole moment.
Forgot about that.
And then they had a little fight. They had a tiny little. I think he smoothed it over.
They maturely handled the situation.
Yes, they handled it. It's not like a rivalry happening.
No,
but it was maybe another little. Oh, Rick maybe isn't quite as good at this as he thinks he is.
His social game seems to be similar to where he was last time. Maybe better, but similar, I would say.
That's the only reason I have him below Christian. And I mean, I've given you my Aubry, reasons for Aubry and Cirie, but I do think he's in a good spot and has potential to win for sure.
His fake idol is going to be legendary when it gets pulled off.
Hopefully that will be a big impact. Yes. And not be like just, that was one thing that kind of worked.
That would be amazing if that works for him or Christian. Of course, it could be an epic failure like Adam trying to play the podium, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a success in a fun way. So was waiting. Last night I was like, man, too bad Christian's not in danger so he could play the fake idol. But I was also like, it'll pay off better later,
yes,
I'm sure. So,
hopefully.
Devens for me is number 3. I actually moved him up. I couldn't believe it. But last night I talked myself out of, we'll talk about why I moved my fan favorite player down a spot. Because I was realizing what was happening over the course of the season, which we'll get to. But anyways, Devens for number 3. He moved up for me. All right. Who is next after Devens?
Next is Emily. Emily had 9 confessionals this week with a total of 13 confessionals. She shot
down for me.
Yeah, I was enjoying her gameplay up until this week. I think that she still has potential to grow and to move forward in the game, especially working with Christian. I like the fact that she is not willing to put all her eggs in one basket. She understands that solely relying on just what Christian and Devens are doing maybe not be what is best for her. So she's trying other options and trying to think through other things, but it's almost like a little bit too late. At some point, you stick with your alliance, you're loyal, and if there's an opportunity, you can take it. But I don't know. She keeps trying to make opportunities, and if that's going to make her alliance really wary of her. We were talking about this in the episode last night. I think Emily is a verbal processor. So when Christian kind of blindsided her on the map, telling her about the idol, she had to process the information, but she couldn't process it unless she talked about it. And she's on a new tribe with new people. Well, and Christian, but she's, so it was her way of processing what was happening. And then I think after she processed it, she's like, oh, it probably is best to stick with Christian. And that's why she went back. She was completely honest.
So messy in the process.
It was a big mess. And the thing about Emily is she was really humble about it. It was like, please don't hate me. I know you're going to hate this. I kind of have a good reason, just forgive me. But she didn't just be like, well, Christian, it was because you blindsided me. And that would have killed her game completely. At least when she made a mistake, she was humble about it and tried to fix it. Also, no one was going to pull Ozzy into that vote, but Emily did. And I think, again, that's good gameplay on her part, trying to make those other connections with people she doesn't have to, but maybe it gives her a number later on in the road. It could make Christian and Angelina and Mike a little nervous that she did that. I don't know. We didn't hear how that happened or the fallout from that. But it could also just be like, yeah, that's fine. Because obviously Stephenie wasn't roped in on the vote, but Ozzy was. Yeah. So, and I think Ozzy made the right choice. Obviously, the numbers were not on his side. So
Emily moved so far down for me this week. This was just an awful episode for her.
But yes, it was a very messy episode.
So bad. And I know at the end of the day, she ended up with the majority, but like if this gets word spreads at all, from those who are on the outs, like Stephenie and Ozzy, if she does this again in any capacity, right? Like this is the Emily we saw in 45 that we thought got fixed. It did not.
Well, change doesn't happen overnight. So,
I know, but like that was 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. Like that's, I can't speak for everyone, but that's enough time. And I feel like she properly reflected and learned in 45, and maybe she'll do it again this time. Maybe this is her one messy moment, but I'm saying if this Emily is going to exist again, this Emily is going to get voted off.
Right.
She needs to process. She needs to figure out how to process information in a way it's not going to be messy gameplay at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like, but if you're going to process it while playing a messy game, yeah. And I can't blame Christian. He told her he didn't know she was going to like go telling everyone else. Like the moment she told me, he's like, you told who? She's like, them, all of them. His face. All of them. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He thought maybe just one person. No, she told everyone. It was supposed to be top secret. Now everybody knows, which means everybody's going to know moving forward. So anyways, Emily's number 14 for me. Just shot down the rankings.
She's 7th for me. Again, just because she tried to fix her mistake and it was fixed. But I agree with you. If she keeps playing like this, she'll have to go down.
I need to see a massive rebound for me to move her back up to get her out of the double digits for sure. Anyways, who is next after Emily?
Okay, our next player is Joe. Joe had 1 confessional this week with a total of 10, which again, I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, what has he said this whole time? I don't know. But it's been there.
He loves everybody, and he's anti-Devens being the way Devens was.
True. That's probably the majority of it. So he's 15th for me. I'm just going to say that just because, again, such lack of content. I don't know what his 10 confessionals were about. So
he has PTSD from Kyle and Kamilla. That came up.
That did come up. He has trust issues. He wants to work with Coach, and he was annoyed by Devens lying to him. That's all I know about Joe and his game this time. So I think that's just why I have him there. He's going to be probably a big target because he made it to the final in the past. He's a physical threat. Some people who get aligned with coach, you know how that weird strategy of take out the right-hand man, but not the man themselves. He could be a target simply for making alliance with coach and Colby. I don't know. Again, I feel like there's not enough information on him so far. So he's 15th.
I think he's in a good alliance. I actually disagree with you here. I think he's in a good alliance, and I think we have enough to know that he doesn't want to repeat his mistakes from 48. That was very clear in the first 2 episodes. He's in a good alliance now with somebody who is going to say what Joe wants to hear and what Joe is going to do. I don't know if coach is going to do it. I believe that Jonathan would do it. We'll see if Jonathan, I know they're not together. I have this feeling that Jonathan's going to make the merge. How does he not? Who's voting off Jonathan in their tribe? Jonathan, Joe, coach get together. Maybe Colby. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I was like, oh, coach and Joe better not to get together. And then they did. And I'm like, well,
the honor alliance.
Yeah. The honor alliance is going to include Jonathan. It's
old guard.
It's going to include Colby. Hey, I am for it if it doesn't become insufferable. Like if they're fun, interesting. Yes. Yeah. If they're going to be insufferable, which is my biggest fear, that which Joe can be and coach can be. That was my concern. I didn't mind coach being with Jonathan or Colby. That was fine. It's really him and Joe. I was like, oh no, this is a bad combination. It's like when you see 2 people together, you're like, that's kind of a toxic couple. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. And I don't mean that it's just, I feel bad saying that, but at the same time, that's how I feel about it. So I feel like Joe's in a better place in his game. I sure hope coach doesn't burn Joe, because Joe is not going to take that well. Joe will not vote for coach in a final 3 if coach burns Joe. True. I can tell you that right now. Like, I don't think I haven't seen Joe as a jury member. I'm going to guess Joe is not going to take that well and vote for you, coach, if you burn him on the way out. You better take him final 3. That's your best bet. Because Joe isn't very good enough. I mean, everyone saw that. Joe isn't very good in the final 3.
It's true. He's not. That was another reason I had him solo down, is even though he made it to final, like, he couldn't articulate well in the final tribal.
And some of my rankings are just gut reactions. Like, Emily probably should be higher than Joe, but I don't know. I haven't seen Joe do anything extremely messy like I just saw Emily do. So Joe's number 8, but I understand him being lower. No argument here. I just disagree that I think he's in a better place in the game. It's just that when he reaches final 3, has Joe learned anything from last time? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it happened too recently for him.
Yes, that's true.
And we're over here talking about people being gone, for 10 years, Aubry, and being like, she's kind of the same. And it's like, it's been 1 year and he just saw his season air.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's hard to make adjustments.
Yes. Who is next after Joe?
Next is Jonathan. He had 1 confessional this week with a total of 7. And again, I'm just kind of in the same basket, like very little content. We heard that
it's only positive.
It is positive so far, but like all we know basically from Jonathan this time is that he wants people to think of him as the meathead who's just providing, but he wants to make more strategic moves this time. But then we're not really shown what those strategic...
Yes, we are. You forget, lest you forget. Okay. M&D talked about
that
Cirie. Was his confessional.
That was one time.
That was his confessional this week. That's what they talked about this week. That was this week.
I know. No. Okay. So
you're saying you don't know what his strategic move is. I'm saying he's going for Cirie.
Right. But how and with whom? Yeah, and that's not really saying I want to get this person out is not to me strategy. That's just saying the obvious. I don't know.
You're saying it's not enough for you.
I need more content from Jonathan to move him anywhere. I again kind of lumped him in the bottom of this group just because I don't know how he's playing. I don't know if people trust him. I haven't heard anyone say, oh, I really like Jonathan, or, oh, I want to work with Jonathan.
Coach and Jonathan are getting along.
Yeah, you're right. Probably in that first episode when there are so many people connecting. But as far as like there's not been a Tiffany on Aubry moment where it's like, we're working together and this is it with Jonathan and anybody, I think. Like, yeah, he's made relationships, but is there anybody that's like, Jonathan's my ride or die? Not that we've been shown. And there's several people you could say that on this season. So I don't know, just lack of information for me. He is good at challenges. I think that always hurts you after the merge.
His tribe needs to go to tribal, and at the rate we're going, his tribe's never going to go to tribal.
He also seems like a super sweet and nice guy that, I don't know. We'll see. I just don't, again, I feel like I don't have enough information. So he's 13th for me. He's above coach because I think he's more likable than coach.
Yeah.
And he's not in a bad spot. No one's gunning for him yet. But I just don't know enough about his game.
Fair enough. I think Jonathan's in a pretty good spot, and I have him actually ranked. My concern is that he's targeting Cirie. He's ranked 7th because unlike D, he's not a pass winner. Therefore, he doesn't have that immediate target on his back. I don't know if his tribe will go to tribal though to make that happen. Like this is a pretty strong tribe. Like the tribe that went last night is a tribe I expect to go again. Ozzy saying, I don't know about voting off Q. That's not going to help us in challenges. Is like for once, I'm like, Ozzy, this is you are correct to think about that because we're about to enter chaos with how many double boots have to happen. And it's better to be first in a challenge than second because I think second's going to start going to tribal soon. We'll see. Maybe we'll wait till the merge. Maybe that's when all the double boots will be. Who knows? But yeah, Jonathan, I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. If he can give it back with Coach, I think him, as I was talking about him, Coach and Joe and Colby, I see them holding strong.
Sure.
Colby is actually the only one of those 4 I believe would try to do things outside of that alliance. And even then, Colby's pretty dang loyal.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time I've seen Colby play, he's pretty dang loyal to his alliance. So man, that's saying that's only because I remember the one time him and Rupert pulled off a move and he's like, all right, Rupert, let's go with it. And it was I think it was Rupert's fake idol rock or whatever that worked at tribal. Yeah. That's like the only time I've seen Colby really be devious. And that's a strong word.
Right.
I know people view him as somewhat of a villain on season 2, but like he was 25, as he said. And it's all a matter of perception.
Yes.
It's all a matter of perception.
That's true. So much of this game is really.
Hey, as Boston Rob said, I'm a villain. Well, it's all about perception. It's how you see it. So anyways, Colby for me. We talking about Jonathan. Jonathan for me is number 7. Why am I going about Colby, man? I have been up late every week editing our podcast. And then the next morning I am doing winter analysis. So my brain's a little discombobulated. That's why I do my notes ahead of time. All right. Who is next after Jonathan, Mary?
Next is Kamilla. Kamilla had 1 confessional this week with a total of 3, and she's one of the 5 that have been skunked.
Yeah, and she didn't even get a reaction confessional to Kyle leaving. She's not winning. I mean, she has 0 confessional episode anyways, and that was the episode where Kyle left.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Where she found out Kyle left, right. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Kamilla for me is number 18.
16 for me, but again, it's just the bottom 5. Yeah. I kind of just listed them.
I don't want to I guess we kind of should just skim over all the 0 confessional people more so because like, even if Kamilla had 1 confessional last week and it was about Kyle, I don't see it so far, but especially because she had nothing in regards to it's not even like Rizgod with Savannah this week. Like you're like, Rizgod should got one from Savannah. It wasn't the same kind of relationship. Like Rizgod and Savannah worked together, but like Kyle and Kamilla were clearly super close. I know it was a running joke. They're in Secret Alliance, but like they were close on a different level than Rizgod and Savannah.
Right.
And Kamilla literally helping Kyle win the game by coaching him. It felt like while she was on the jury. So we're trying to get him to like answer the right way, Kyle. So yeah, Kamilla for me, number 18. Anything else for her?
No.
Okay, who's next?
Next is Mike. Mike had 4 confessionals this week with a total of 12.
You said you don't think Mike's long for this game.
I don't. And so here's why. I think on his first tribe, he had a lot of the hero worship and stuff. But then by the time we get to the second tribe, we're kind of in the game. You know, everyone's in game mode. I don't think they're thinking that much about White Lotus, and I mean, except for Angelina, I guess. But you know what I mean? They're not. Correct. Maybe they're not quite at. But you're in game mode, and when you're in game mode, you're gonna think about things that are good for you. So first of all, Mike White, he does not need the money. He's not helpful in the challenges. The only reason to keep him around, I think, is to be a vote for you in your alliance and to have a loyal alliance member. I think, and this is just the next time in Survivor, it's trying to portray him as being a little pushy, but we also saw it kind of in this week's episode where he's like trying to push the vote his way to Q, which everyone was down for.
Mike's used to running things in his life.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
He's getting his way.
He's used to running things, giving orders, and he is here to have fun and play the game, and he's going to play it. And I think he's in a position now where he thinks he's okay, like he's in the majority, so he's going to play with a little bit more gumption. And I think that's going to put a target on him. Plus he's successful outside of this game and he's not that great in challenges. So I think if they had to cut Mike, I think Christian would be fine with it. Emily obviously would be fine with it. I don't know if Angelina would be fine with it. I don't think Angelina would be,
but Christian would be, yeah.
Right. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. He's being a little bit bossy, I guess, in his alliance.
Yeah.
And there can only be 2 bosses. And we've already shown that Christian is the main character.
The boss.
Yes. And Angelina's sub manager.
She's the manager, the middle manager.
Yes. That's just like a gut feeling. Like I said, like in his lines, I think it's truly Christian is going to make it farther in the game. And right now they seem to be, not that they're at odds, but clearly probably not going to work together as well as Mike probably thinks that they're going to work together. So he's 9th for me. He's has content. Everything's been pretty positive. He's had a little bit of personal content too. Like, why are you here on Survivor? And to escape the crazy busyness of the Hollywood. Yes.
Are you impressed?
He's 54 and has a 6-pack. So that's good for him.
I don't see Colby running around with the 6-pack and he's 51.
It's true. It's true.
I don't see me running around with a 6-pack and I'm not as old as either of them. So.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's not in a bad spot. He's in the majority. We'll see how his social game goes from here on out. But he is 9th for me.
He's number 12 for me. I was already just thinking that he's rich and that it's not quite a winner, but it has the same, like, how long am I going to let Mike White? How far am I going to let him get? He did, because he did get second place last time he played. And there was always the suspicion of that he wasn't really trying at Final Tribal Council to win. Jeff even kind of confirmed that in an interview pre-50. He's like, I can't speak for other people, but Jeff's like, my thoughts are that Mike didn't really try his hardest to win. It's like, yeah, well, Jeff's best friends with Mike, they're buddies. They're hanging out outside of the game. Like, Jeff isn't doing that with all the other players. I bet Jeff actually knows.
Probably.
And Mike probably indicated that he didn't try his hardest to win because he would have felt weird winning $1 million over somebody else. The poor Kentucky boy, Nick, that's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt weird about it. And I understand that. And I think that's, if we're thinking about that again, is he really going to, maybe he tries harder this time, but does he even get that far this time?
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
So he's number 12 for me. I think you made a good point that you got me thinking, like, yeah, in his day-to-day life, he is the boss. He is the boss of his show. He's been the boss of other projects as well, but now he's like the boss of his most famous project yet. And that's got to be like, even though he's playing a game, he's still, like, in a way, he's used to getting his way. He's used to getting his way by telling people what to do in his own way, So he maybe knows how to convey that, but at the same time, at the end of the day, if he puts his foot down, that's what happens, I'm sure, on this show.
Right.
So, and people are always trying to suck up to him because they want to keep their jobs. Well, there's no one here trying to keep their job with Mike White. So, yeah, I think you make a good point, Mary, that whether he means to or not, he's probably being unintentionally bossy.
Probably.
He could be unintentionally bossy.
Just a little bit. Now, I think maybe not quite the first couple of days, but now that he feels more comfortable. He didn't go tribal,
so there's no need.
Right.
There's no need to really push on it. So, but now that push comes to shove, you got to go tribal again next week because, like Ozzy said, like, I don't know about this tribe with Q gone. We should get rid of somebody like Angelina who just talks the most and does the least. That's what Q said.
It's true.
So, all right. Yeah, Mike for me, number 12. Who is next?
Next is Ozzy.
Oscar
the
Wise.
Oscar the Wise. He had 2 confessionals this week. Still has a total of 23 because of his first episode.
Well, if you go by his handles on social media, it's Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
That's what you call him? Yeah. I call him Oscar the Wise because he's trying to play more wise. He is a little grouchy, yeah.
He is trying to play more wise. And I do appreciate the growth in Ozzy this season. He has the boomerang idol. He had the extra vote, which he gave to Cirie. Clearly, he's in a tight alliance with Cirie, and that's a good spot to be, especially if you're not a good social player.
But they're separated right now.
Yes, they are separated.
Not much of a benefit at the moment.
But I think even in the brief interaction we saw with him and Emily this week, he did a great job of, I don't like this plan. I'm not going to be maybe what old Ozzy would be like, no, this is not good for the tribe. Strength. Da, da, da,
it's true. He would. And he'd be like, no, I'm standing. He would be like really hard-nosed about it.
Yeah. He was not. He was flexible. He went along with the majority, even if it may not have been best for the tribe overall. So I think he is playing a better game. I think that he has improved his social game. He's still not. He's no Cirie. He's no Rizo. Like, he's not going to be that.
He's no Rizo. I like that he's being compared to Rizgod now.
I'm talking about personality as far as outgoing, likable.
I heard you said Rizgod is somebody to aspire to be in this game. I heard.
Okay. Sorry. I'm thinking of loud personalities. He's no Christian.
Side by side.
He's no Christian.
It's Cirie and Rizgod.
Whatever. I'm going to back up. You can edit that out.
Nope. Editing that out.
I'm saying he knows what his weaknesses are, and his weaknesses is the social game. And I think he's trying to adapt and modify. And I really appreciate that about him. So he is 8th for me. I think he could jump up or down. Basically, if he gets back with Cirie, we'll see how well this tribe also, if, they may lose again. We've said they kind of are the weakest tribe at this point with the new tribe swap. But I do appreciate his growth in the game. I appreciate that he's just got advantages, seemingly more than anyone else so far, and is doing well in his relationship. So I see potential for him. Now, will he win if he makes it to the final? I don't know. He's not like that convincing, even less so than Colby. But it's possible.
I think you're underestimating how good Colby is at talking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying even Colby's better than Ozzy as far as like communicating with people.
Still think you're underestimating Colby's ability to talk. Sorry, go ahead.
I just see him as like this like quiet, taciturn, like it is what it is. Let the chips fall where they are.
You would love Colby.
I'm sure I would.
Yeah. Like whereas Oscar, I could see being divisive.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm saying I don't know if Ozzy has the personality to win, but I do think he's playing a great game. So 8th, he could definitely jump up for me.
And who do you think's winning between him and Coach? That's what we talked about earlier.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's Ozzy because I like him better. So that's personality bias.
Yeah. But I mean, at the moment, Coach has numbers and Ozzy's on the outs. I know he voted with the majority, but it wasn't because he wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah. If he needs that alliance to eat themselves, like you're saying, for Mike White to be turned on for being bossy or whatever, because at the moment it's either, I don't think it'd be him next. I think it would be Stephenie,
right?
And they're on the tribe. If they do go back, it's tribal, which I could see happening. I mean, they did get, not that Q is great, but he's probably better in challenges than Angelina.
Yes.
I don't remember Angelina being great in challenges, though. Didn't she win an immunity at the end of Steve vs. Goliath? I don't know.
I know she won one once, I'm sure.
Yeah, I forget. I think actually no, Nick Wilson won out at the end. That's what happened. He won out at the end and forced other people to make fire. Regardless, Oscar, I feel very middle of the road about him. I'm not, it's just, I know you got 19 Confessionals week 1. I still feel like, I just don't know. And he's been a tribal every week.
So that is hard to tell.
Oscar for me is number 11.
Yeah, 8th for me.
All right, well, who's next after him?
Next is Rizzo.
The Rizgod. Oh, it was dropped this week, Mary. People said Rizgod finally. Cirie said it.
Cirie with an eye roll. Yeah, Cirie said it.
Cirie's you saying with an eye roll.
He had 3 confessionals this week with a total of 7. In his new tribe, he tried to make a connection with Charlie. That has failed. And that was the only thing we were shown. In his old tribe, he admitted he was annoying people and he knew it. And
he adjusted.
He did adjust, pulled himself back down, and did seem to make a genuine connection with Colby. But that's all we've seen so far. And I think...
Don't underestimate the Riz.
I'm not underestimating him because I think he was one of the better players of his season. I just think he's going to have to make a lot of adjustments to keep moving forward. I think he beats
Sage and Sophie B on his season. I don't know if he beats Savannah, but I think he beats those other two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he was one of the better players of his season.
Yeah, but in fire, man.
In this season, he's going to have to make a lot of adjustments, and he has made some. But for me, it's like there's a lot to do here, and for him, he's got to like pull down his personality, his loud personality. He's got to be helpful. He's got to be willing to vote whomever, whenever, and just be that quiet number in the back for a while. And I don't know if he can do. Maybe he can. Because he has quieted down a lot. I mean, only 3 confessionals this week is nothing really for him as far as just content. What is he doing? Who is he trying to work with besides Charlie? Because he's trying to work more people than just Charlie. So we'll see what happens if he goes to tribal. Hopefully he makes it because he is entertaining. And like I said, I do want to see him and Colby get back together and work together again. But I just don't see anybody. Every time people talk about him, it's like Cirie with the eye roll or Colby saying he's really an annoying kid, but whatever. So it's not like.
But I love him now. That's what he said.
Yes, but I love him now. But is he making again those genuine long game connections that he needs to, like he did with Savannah and Sophie B? I don't know.
Let me ask you a question, Mary. This is a very important question. 3 weeks ago in your life, where would you say you were in a similar spot than you are now? Do you feel like you were a similar person 3 weeks ago to where you are today?
Yes.
Okay. Remember that 3 weeks ago in Rizgod's life, he was on the verge of winning 49.
Yes.
Fake idol playing everybody, going max Riz, and we were all rooting for him. I don't remember any person ever saying they weren't rooting for the Rizgod. Nobody ever said that. Everybody's rooting for him. So here we are 3 weeks later. What's changed? Nothing. He's still the Rizgod. You're underestimating. He's number 4 for me. My concern is that he's number 4. And my concern though is that the reason, and I keep moving him down, is that I said that I think he wins with a new era jury, but we're bleeding new era people, which by the way, I'm fine with for the overall boot order of the season. I'm not complaining about that by any means. But I am saying that I think that his win kind of hinges on the jury being more new era. And at the rate we're going, it looks like we're going to have a more old era, for lack of a better word, jury, which is fine by me. But in terms of the Rizgod winning, I'm kind of hinging on him having enough new era people on the jury to make that happen. And I don't know, because we've lost flipping 3 of them so far.
And not just...
And D is not long for this game.
Right. And not just the eras, but the actual ages of people. He's the youngest. The only one close to him is Charlie at 27. And
Charlie's already said, I'm not.
And Charlie's already not working with him. Everybody else is like 30s, 40s, 50s. I just don't see him making that connection with somebody and it lasting. It could just
wait till he makes the merge and he can just Riz everybody. Everybody's like, I kind of like Rizgod now.
It can happen. I'm not saying it can't. I've said he's a good player.
Yeah.
I've said he's improved his game. He's made adjustments. I just don't see him winning. He's 12th for me.
He's 4th for me. I had 12. What is this 12th nonsense? He's the Rizgod. Rizgod.
I know, and that's why.
All right, who's next?
So Stephenie is next, and she's one of our 0 confessional women. She had 2 this week with a total of 8.
Voted incorrectly this week.
Yeah. I had higher hopes for her with the 0 confessional and being in the bottom of her tribe.
She's also terrible final tribal.
Yeah.
I know I'm interrupting here, but it's just like Stephenie's just like,
It's unfortunate.
I didn't even want her on the season.
I didn't mind her. I like her as a player. We mentioned it.
Yeah.
But she isn't the best player.
No. She's very much the same, and it's not like, well, Christian's the same. Christian's actually not the same. He's actually progressed as a person. Talking about like Christian's base is infinitely more entertaining than Stephenie at her peak.
Yeah.
Like Christian at his like normal low is better than Stephenie at her peak. Like for comparison, like I am okay with bringing back like Q again, despite his boot here, because Q is infinitely entertaining at his lowest. Stephenie at her peak was not as entertaining as these people.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm just bashing on Stephenie. I'm just saying like, I wasn't really interested in her being cast again, and she's not delivering. So it's like, I just feel like, I feel like everybody kind of called it like, could we have not cast somebody else from the old era? There had to be another woman. What about Abby Maria? That would have been an excellent casting choice. I know you say, oh my gosh, but like, would she not have brought the conflict? And she would have been base. She's entertaining on a base level. Like she doesn't need to elevate. She's already just Abby Maria.
Sure.
Infinitely better than Stephenie. Would have been a better choice. And it would have represented somebody from the 20s, which we are lacking in this season. So anyways, Stephenie, where do you have her ranked?
18th.
I have her 16th, but don't count that as like she's better than the other
bottom 5
people. Yeah, bottom 5 are all the same to me. So
our last player is also Tiffany, one of the last skunked lady.
I wanted to see her play again. I feel like she had potential, and they've done her nothing this season.
She only has a total of 2 confessionals,
and one this week was just about Aubry.
Right, and her confessional this week was about Aubry, and I feel like that's unfortunate because here's Tiffany putting herself in a really awkward position where everyone on her tribe, Genevieve is telling everyone on their tribe to get rid of Aubry. And Tiffany's like, no, I don't like Genevieve. I like Aubry. And goes to Aubry, goes to the person on the outs. Like that's a really gutsy move. And I've always liked Tiffany's gameplay. It's bold. It's adventurous. It's brave.
She told Bonnie to get up off his knees, stop begging.
So I was hoping for more of Tiffany's content. It's just that it's not there at all.
Yeah.
At all. So 17th for me, but again, just in the bottom 5.
They've given her no screen time. I'm hoping there's a bounce back and Tiffany does get some time to shine, regardless of whether she wins or not. I feel like Tiffany, I know some people are like, Tiffany, why did they cast Tiffany? That for me was my question about Stephenie. Why Stephenie? We've seen her enough times on TV. Right. Tiffany, I feel like there's still more here and we haven't gotten it so far, but I think there is potential for it to happen.
Right.
You know, like I think Tiffany has potential, whereas some people we've already seen their potential maxed out and it's like, okay, do I need to see this again? No. Tiffany, there's potential. I'm hoping even if she doesn't win, because she's in the bottom 5 for me as well. Sorry, I had to double check. She's ranked last only because she has the least number of professionals. That's nothing against her.
Right.
I hope that she delivers and makes best of her time, because I don't know if they're going to cast somebody they're doing this to a third time, if that makes sense. Like Q, I could see casting a third time because of how much time they gave him, regardless of him going third or whatever in the 3rd episode. But Tiffany, if this is what they've done to her in 3 episodes, like, are they going to bring her back again? I hope she does something this season to makes an impact.
Right. Because like I said, she's fun to watch and it would be nice to see more of her content.
Yeah. Well, hey, we ranked all 20 and we did it in pretty speedy fashion.
It's true. Was it?
It was. Hey, we clocked, I mean, real time, we clocked in a little over an hour and a half. We'll see what I edited it down to, but that's what we clocked in at. So, all right. Well, hey, that is it for this week. Next week, it'll be myself, Rebecca, and I didn't even say this, but we have a special guest.
Nice.
Special guest on our podcast with Rebecca next week. And then you and I, Mary, I believe we're doing winter analysis next week. Madison's not going to be back for another couple weeks. So, all right. Well, we'll see you all next time.
Bye.